We have the Shock Drive Genesect coming to Pokemon Go, and it is going to have a shiny form according to Pokemon Go, so hopefully that maintains the same. And we were able to get this Genesect with the Shock Drive for the first time shiny in Pokemon Go, which is very exciting. So welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go. The Genesect in the Shock Drive is coming into Pokemon Go from Tuesday the 2nd at 10 a.m. all the way until Tuesday the 9th at 10 a.m. And then we're going to switch over into Tapu Fini, which is going to have the first time ever shiny form in the game as well. So I will also be at Lake Eola on Wednesday in Orlando from 6 to 7 for raid hour. So if you guys do want to come out and raid with me and JT Valor, I will see you guys out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we are going to start off at the center gym around Lake Eola. So if you are coming, make sure to meet us there, and then we are going to go from there. So be there at 6 prompt if you're coming exactly at 6 or beforehand, so that you do not get left behind, because I am going to be walking pretty fast. I would like to get a decent amount of XL candy and raids in and hopefully get shinies as well. The Genesect Shock Drive is going to be a bug and a steel type Pokemon. So the only thing that really separates the Genesect from the drives is that they get an exclusive move when you catch them that you can only get on this specific drive. But that's not what's important, because we are going to talk about this in the moves in a second, because this Pokemon is going to have one weakness, only one, but it is a double weakness, and that is going to be to fire, and this Pokemon will go down extremely fast. And the 100% IVs under normal conditions, every condition except 2 conditions, is going to be 1916, or if it is either rainy weather or snowy weather, which probably for the most part for most of us at this point in time in the year, it is not going to be happening, but it will get boosted all the way to level 25 at 2395, and that's going to be that, which then leads us into the moves. As far as the quick moves, it's going to get Fury Cutter and Metal Claw, and then as far as the charge moves, it will get Zap Cannon, X Scissor, and Magnet Bomb. And with these moves, fortunately, for the most part, every single Pokemon here that is going to be fire will not be weak to these moves, except for Flying Fire combination Pokemon, which definitely have a space in Pokemon Go, because this Fire Flying combination, the Flying is going to be weak to Electric, and Fire does not resist Electric, so that makes these Pokemon weak to Electric. So whenever I do talk about a Fire Flying Pokemon like Charizard, that is going to mean that that Pokemon is going to be weak here, which will ultimately give it a little bit more deaths and make it a little bit more challenging to use that Pokemon as far as not dying out so fast. But at the same time, since this Pokemon is double weak to fire, it's probably still going to be worth your time to go after this Pokemon with those moves, especially if you have a decent sized party. And it's going to take 1.2 trainers to take down this Pokemon, so it's definitely going to be easily doable. So that's good for everybody out there that's doing the in-person raids. Just remember, you get guaranteed 6 XL candy when you do the in-person raids. If you want to check out that video where I analyze it and see what the average is, check it out up here. It's a great video for that, to check out how much XL candy on average you're going to get and how much it's going to take to max out one of these Pokemon. However, if you do have level 50 counters here, you can solo this Pokemon. It's going to be extremely close to be able to do. You're going to have to time up some moves correctly. You're going to have to make sure you get off all the specials, but you can do that, and I do that in this video up here. It's very powerful, but you will have to use a Mega Blaziken to be able to do that, or a Mega Charizard to be able to get it off. I would prefer the Blaziken, but you're going to have to get all the Pokemon counters to level 50, and it's going to have to be sunny weather to make this happen. So now let's move on to the counters. First of all, let's talk about which Mega Pokemon you can use to go after this Pokemon to get more XL candy. So this Pokemon is a bug and a steel type. So as far as bug types, we can use Beedrill, and then you can also use the Primal Kyogre, because just remember, Primal Kyogre is going to boost 3 typings, but the most important factor here is that this Pokemon, whether it be Mega or a Primal, is level 3, because that will yield you the most XL candy chances. And then as far as the steel typings, we do have 3 Pokemon out as of right now for Megas, which is going to be Mega Steelix, Mega Aggron, and Mega Scissor. All 3 of those Pokemon are going to stack up and help you guys get more XL candy. So now let's move into the counters. The number 1 counter overall is going to be Mega Blaziken. Mega Blaziken is fantastic because it's not a flying type Pokemon, so it will not be weak to any of these moves coming at it. Since this Pokemon is the strongest, we will check out its stats. As far as how fast it's going to take it down, at 315 seconds with 9 deaths. With the moveset of Fire Spin and Blast Burn, it does need Blast Burn to be this strong, and this Pokemon is actually going to be double resistant to Bug as well, which is very powerful. In spot number 2, we have another Mega, which is going to be Mega Charizard with Fire Spin as well as Blast Burn. These 2 Pokemon, obviously, you can't run 2 Megas at the same time, so you're going to have to decide, do I want to take this Pokemon down faster, or do I want to go after a different Mega and use it for XL Candy Game? I typically use for the XL Candy Game, or if you're trying to go after the mock solo of the Genesect, where you can take the Genesect down as a single player, you guys can check out that video up here. It's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. And then in spot number 3, we have Fire Fang and Fusion Flare on the Reshiram. In spot number 4, we have our first Shadow Pokemon, which is not going to be a budget counter, but the first two megas are budget counters. Fire Spin and Blast Burn on the Blaziken. The reason why I'm not calling this a budget counter, even though it is budget as far as not paid for XL candy, is that the Stardust does require a premium to power this Pokemon up. In spot number 5, we do have Mega Charizard X, which I would suggest not using if you're using one of these Pokemon. In spot number 6, we have Shadow Ho-Oh with Incinerate and Sacred Fire Plus. In spot number 7, we are going to have the Shadow Entei with Fire Fang and Overheat. In spot number 8, we'll have Shadow Typhlosion with Incinerate and Blast Burn. And then we have Mega Houndoom, Shadow Arcanine, and then finally we have the Shadow Magmortar, which then leads us into the Darumaka. Darumaka is going to be the first budget counter that we do have coming in here with Fire Fang and Overheat. However, it is going to take a much longer time to take down this Pokemon with these Pokemon, and it definitely is a Pokemon that is a little bit glassier. But then in spot number 13, we do have the Chandelure with Fire Spin and Overheat on this Pokemon. Since we just did have the Litwick Comday, you will have a lot of XL candy for that Pokemon, so that's a great budget counter. I've been wanting to max one of those, so maybe I will consider maxing it for these raid bosses, even though I do have Ho-Ohs powered up in the Shadow form, and then I also do have Shadow Entei powered up pretty high. I'm just waiting for a little bit more XL candy next time those dogs do come back into the raids. And then we have Primal Groudon with Mudshot and Fire Punch, which is not super high on the list here. Then we have the Purified Apex Ho-Oh with Incinerate and Sacred Fire Plus Plus, followed by the Blaziken with the Fire Spin and the Overheat, which is a very easy budget counter to obtain to be able to power up. And then we have Heatran and Mega Salamence. So now let's move on to the weather conditions here. Obviously, sunny weather is going to be the best condition for us to go after this Pokemon because it will boost all of our counters and help you take it down faster. In number 2, we do have the rainy weather. Rainy weather will boost the electric move, which is going to hit the flying type fires pretty hard. Not only that, it will boost all of the bug type moves coming from this Pokemon, and it will also boost Genesect to level 25 at that 2395 100% IV. And then finally, we do have snowy weather, which will boost this Pokemon all the way to level 25 again, and it will boost all of the steel type moves coming after this Pokemon. But not too big of a deal. This Pokemon is soloable. It is a great Pokemon to go after, and the Shock Drive will finally have the shiny in Pokemon Go. So thank you guys for being here as always. Good luck out there. Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you out Lake Eola in Orlando, Florida. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.